Riverside's in a very unique location. We're south of the capital city of Lusaka, and we're actually right on the river, right at the base of the cliffs. That location provides us with ample water on the edge of an area that's quite arid, very bushland. And so we've got beautiful soils. And because of the dry season, during that dry season with the irrigation, it's almost like being able to grow in the biggest greenhouse you've ever imagined. To give an idea, this year we'll produce 5 million pounds of bananas. And that funding is what allows us to bring students, and their teachers are paid for. So the cost for them is honestly in most cases less than the food that they'll eat while they're here, which is really an exciting thing. It reminds me back to some of the stories of Madison and the students coming with $5 and depositing it, giving their $5 when they leave. We're not quite there yet, but there's a significant contribution from industry to the educational process here. So Riverside's really a combination of things. We do a lot of education, both for adults and children, and then we also focus a lot on evangelism. Those really go hand in hand. So that's the core of what we do. And in the process, obviously, we have a farm and we grow a lot of bananas, wheat, soybeans, and other crops to help that happen. It started as a small, few fields, few houses near the river. The property is 1,200 hectares. For those who are in the States, almost 3,000 acres. And it started there. They were growing some maize, some wheat, some sorghum in small amounts, running water up a hill, down through these ditches to try to irrigate. And then at some point, one of the guys said, hey, let's try bananas. And Riverside was actually the first place in Zambia to try growing bananas commercially, and did it on a small scale, but the first to do it. And maybe 10 hectares of land being done at the max at that period of time. And so today we're up to 38 hectares of bananas. So one of the things that bananas really contributes, obviously, is income. But you think of, for example, a lot of self-supporting projects. We call ourselves self-supporting, but we're really donor-funded projects. And one of the things I really like here is that we're moving towards the place where we'll be completely self-supporting from an income standpoint. And places like ASI have been, immensely generous with Riverside over the years. For example, the bananas that are behind me, they helped with a donation one year for $50,000. And that's a lot of money to plant bananas. I mean, you could build churches or do something else with that. But when you realize that for every dollar they gave, the ministry has received more than $6.66 for every dollar that was given, because it's leveraged through the industry of bananas. And so bananas literally exponentially multiply the value of the donor funds that are given here. We're the second largest employer in the district, employing more than 150 people full-time here on the farm, with the school, with the program. And with that comes significant sponsorships in education, obviously money for food, clothing, but also we've been able to impact people through the training program that's connected to the work. The access to education obviously helps if you're reading the package on fertilizer, you're planting maize locally, but it's also unlocks the possibility of going anywhere. I mean, one of our students went on to go to Harvard, and so you just realize the stepping points that you give someone is unlimited. You unlock the potential for their future by giving them education. And so seeing students, more than 100 students are sponsored, 100% free education out of the village. Kids who were getting failing education otherwise are graduating with top marks. The school, while we're small, is the highest graduation rate in the entire district. And so that's really exciting. And so now adding the secondary school in, we're going to be able to continue that through that partnership with Child Impact.
The advantage of having the students here is that when they leave after graduating, after their 5 months of training courses are finished, then they go home, they take more knowledge than they had when they came, and they become missionaries in their own communities.
In 1900, 1903, there were less than 2,000 Seventh Day Adventists in all of Southern Africa. And today there's more than 1 million Adventists in Zambia. And that's really, I think, a testament to the opportunity of combining church work with self-supporting work close together. We've been able to, with partnership with ASI, build hundreds of churches, working with people like light bearers to have literature across this country, and the results can be seen. And now you have one of the largest populations of Adventists, but yet you still have hundreds of villages with not a single Adventist in it that still need to be reached. And so you see this work continuing before us. So the vision is really to see people combining business and ministry together, because we're told that business and ministry are not two separate things, they're one. And I think sometimes we get confused, and as young people, we tell young people, hey, we're going to go to heaven, and we get the idea it's harps and clouds. But it's really going to be being creative. God's creative, and I believe throughout all eternity we're going to be able to be creative. And here we get the chance to impact people who will be able to be creative with us for eternity, creating new things. And so I think the real purpose for being here is to bring more souls to the kingdom of God through the different aspects with which we can impact people.